See if we can get this done. Hey y'all, it's Lindsay, and it's time for another Wellness Wednesday. All right, I'm back in my basement, and my girls are all three awake, which hopefully this doesn't get derailed. So if you hear any kind of thumping or jumping or anything like that, that would be my girls. They're currently, I think, playing Moana, if I had to be hard-pressed to make a guess. My furnace is blowing pretty loudly as well down here, so if the background noise is a little bit loud, forgive me. I'm going to try to combat that with my voice. All right, the scale. Last week I weighed in at 143.6, which was my pre-pregnancy weight, and I was really excited about that and really happy with that. And then this week, I talked about it in my weekend update chit-chat video from Monday. I allowed myself to be completely derailed, and I had a lot of sugar. I had a lot of off-plan food, and I'm okay with that. It was a very stressful weekend. It was a very good weekend, but there wasn't hardly a moment for me to do much more than do the activities that we had to do and then come home and go to bed. So I was perfectly content with the fact that I gained weight. And so I did gain weight this week. I weighed in this morning at 144.2. So that is a 0.6 pound gain. And I'm actually impressed by that because I fully expected it to be a good 2 to 3 pounds of a gain. Because usually whenever I have sugar, my body gets inflamed and I retain a lot more water than that. So I'm very impressed with that. Sunday, I was intending on going right back to THM and being having just an all-S day just to sort of get back into the swing of things without feeling the depravity. And I did not do that. I wound up having a donut at church, and it was like huge. Maybe not that big, but you know, it was big. It was probably a 5-inch diameter donut. It was massive. I don't think anybody should eat donuts that size, me especially. Anyway, so we came back home, and I kind of didn't really eat very well after that fact. I didn't really have much in the way of veggies, and I didn't have very many crossovers. I wound up just basically snacking the rest of the day on things like nuts and cheese and our Jared approved chocolate. And I also knew that getting back on plan meant that I probably needed to have a couple of baked treats, because once I have sugar, my brain is just totally lit up and I need more sweets. So I went ahead and I made the magic salted caramel cupcakes, but I made it in an 8x8 pan. So that way it was kind of a cake, and I wound up getting 16 servings out of that instead of the 12 cupcakes. So that was really beneficial to have in my refrigerator. And I also plan to make a Trimtastic chocolate cake probably today. I think I might have time today. That way, whenever the magic salted caramel cake is all gone, I can have something sweet still. And that's just something that I know for me makes a huge difference. Last week, I did not take the opportunity to prep ahead of time and make a sweet treat like a cake or a cupcake kind of a thing. And so I, derailed pretty quickly on that. So up until the end of February, beginning of March, we have got a jam-packed schedule. A couple of weeks ago, my grandfather passed away, and we're going to travel down to where my family is, and we're going to go to his service. And I am going to actually be speaking, I guess. That's the plan at this point anyway. And so I kind of need to be on top of my game with health and with staying on plan so my body feels better. And we will be flying to Texas. It will be Lauren's first trip ever on an airplane. And typically that's what winds up happening. Anywhere between 3 and 6 months, each of our girls have had their very first airline flight. We do travel frequently, so it's something that we like to start them young with. Anyway, So I'm going to need to plan ahead for that as far as snacks. And in the airport, you can find Trim Healthy Mama friendly things, especially if you can find hard-boiled eggs. Um, I'm I feel like I have gone off on a rabbit trail. That wasn't really what this is about. So we'll be traveling. We have a very busy season right now. And so I need to plan for Trim Healthy Mama snacks on the road. I need to get Lauren healthy. Lauren came down with a cold. It's pretty much just cycling its way through our entire house. We've got the diffuser going. We've got our Highlands homeopathy tablets going. Not for her because she's 4 months old. And let's be safe. But we are trying really hard to get healthy and be well. My voice is still a little bit tired from this past weekend from being a part of If Gathering and then serving on our worship team on Sunday. I've got still some like nasally congestion happening. I'm not sure if you can tell. And I'm trying to project so that way you can actually hear me over the home drum going on around me. Where was I going with this? So I need to probably go ahead and make a large batch of the Boost Juiced recipe. Boost Juiced. Really? No, not really. Boost Juice. And keep that in my refrigerator. I've also noticed that I've been waking up a little bit queasy, and I think I need to up my magnesium that I take on a daily basis. And I probably need to go through and make a large batch of Speedy Chocolate Milk or Trim Quick if you've got the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. And keep that in the refrigerator. And I'm curious to test out whether or not putting sunflower lecithin in that will keep it from separating. I digress. I need to make some quality food prep choices this week in order to maintain a Trim Healthy Mama plan and lifestyle. And I need to do that even through the busyness of this current 2-week stretch. Today is Valentine's Day, so if you celebrate Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. And it happens to be Lent. So, I mean, it doesn't just happen that way. It is Lent. Let's say it that way. So if you observe Lent, I'm very curious. What have you decided to give up for Lent? And one thing that I'm not Catholic and I'm not Lutheran, so I don't observe Lent in a strict sort of sense. I've been thinking quite a lot about Lent and what it really means and what it means to me personally. And I kind of feel like it's an opportunity for me to regroup and focus on things that have sort of become idols in my own life. Or if they haven't become idols, they're on their way to becoming idols. So I need to just sort of stop, reflect, and redirect my thoughts. Take every thought captive is what scripture tells us, and that's definitely something I need to do. I won't be giving up steak or red meat or pork or chocolate or any of those things because those aren't idols in my life. Those aren't things that I put above God. Something that can become an idol in my life is me time. I crave me time. And when I say me time, I do actually mean me. 100% alone me, where I can stare off into space and not have anybody looking at me or asking me, Mama, what are you thinking? Or Mama, we need this. I need this. Mama, look at this. Do this. Do this. Hold me, Mom. Hold me. I need to be held. You know what I mean? I really do crave having separation from all humans for at least half an hour a day. And I don't get that. And I tend to get very crabby because of that, because I know our current situation is such that, or the stage of life, not situation, it's a stage of life. My children need me and they matter so much more than me time, to the point where, yes, I do need that time. I need to recharge my batteries so that I can be the best mom that I can be, but not so much to the point where I need to have a bad attitude about it whenever my children do have needs. I want to raise them to be loving and kind and not instantly on the defensive or not instantly have a negative attitude. And I noticed here lately that's something that has really been infiltrating our home. And I'm starting to recognize that it's probably me. Um, our little sorority here feeds off of emotions. And if mama is just in kind of a grumpy mood, that sort of is exacerbated in them. And they, here I am preaching at them. You need to be kind. You need to be loving. You need to watch the tone of voice you use. And yet here I am having an ugly attitude, an ugly tone of voice, or else like a frustrated tone of voice. And I don't want that for them. I don't want them to constantly be not in fear, but constantly dread, if I ask mom this, then I'm going to wind up getting a lecture. And they're 7, 4, and 4 months. That's really not the heart that I want to come to them with. So I think for Lent this year, I might be just refocusing how I look at life, as far as whenever we are in the long days and whenever we are in the exhausting days. Because, for instance, yesterday, Lauren, the only thing she wanted to do was scream in my ear the entire day. And that's exhausting. Especially for somebody who likes to have a loud environment for a finite amount of time, and then I need quiet, and I mean solitude quiet. And I don't know. I feel like I'm going off on random tangents here. I need to come back. Let's land this plane. I am pleased with the amount of weight that I gained this week. I am focused on trying to get my meal prep done, getting my food prep done so that I can stay on plan and make good quality choices for this coming week. And I think that's going to be it. I'm very scattered right now. I've had 3 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast and a cup of coffee, and I'm still hungry because I'm nursing a baby. I need a bowl of oatmeal. How was your week this past week? Were you able to maintain your focus with your eating plan? Was it a rough week for y'all too? How do you celebrate Valentine's Day? For us, it's kind of a lot different than it used to be. Well, I mean, no, that's not even true. We've never really been huge Valentine people, honestly. It's to me, it was always a kiddie holiday where, you wake up in the morning and your parents gave you a card and a stuffed animal and a little bit of chocolate. And the fun part of it was really the Valentine's Day party at school. The girls, I did something rather small for them this morning, just a little something, because it's not a holiday. It's not their birthday. They don't need a ton of stuff, but just a little sweet treat to remind them that, hey, let's celebrate the fact that we love each other today, and let's continue to celebrate the fact that we love each other every day. And they enjoyed that. I can hear Lauren crying upstairs, so I need to wrap this up. Okay. Answer that question, how you celebrate Valentine's Day. What are you doing to stay on your way of eating plan? I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.